Hey, everybody. Let me switch this around a little bit. There we go. Let's get on comments. I got somebody watching already. Got a thumbs up. Wait for some people to get in here, and then I'll give you a little update of me and what's been going on since New Year's. First of all, sorry to scare everybody. I know my first post about me having the stroke was not taken seriously because I do joke around and I try to take serious things and put them in a non-serious way. So Um, yeah, New Year's Eve, I had a stroke. It was a very small one. It was in the. It did affect my some of my speech, but and my memory. The thalamus, I think. Yeah, the thalamus. That's what happened. Thalamus. So it was deep inside my brain. It was a little blood clot. Did a world of damage. Um, but I'm recovering. I'm recovering faster than expected. So super stoked about that. And so yeah, everything's going pretty good right now. I was able to walk from like the bathroom in my bedroom all the way to the living room without my walker. So wife's getting mad with me testing that shit. So um, I'm gonna get through it. It's gonna take a couple of weeks for me to start repairing the synapses from the signals from my brain to my left side extremities. Um, but I'm in good spirits and I'm motivated, and I want to thank everybody for the well wishes and the concern. You guys are awesome. So appreciate that. And today I want to kind of test my drawing hand and see if it'll still do shit. Okay. Oh, we got 3 people watching. I'm sure everybody's got questions. I have questions, but let's switch this out here. I can do this. So I'm going to be testing out my drawing arm. It still kind of works. So I don't know what I'm actually going to draw, but we'll figure it out. Let's. All right. Love you too, Mouse. So, um, start with some basic stuff, I guess. Here, let's do this. Man, that looked like shit. It's gonna take a minute. I gotta not get discouraged with myself, but okay. All right, that looks pretty cool for now. But I don't know. For those that missed it, I had a stroke. Um, it was we got by the time symptoms started, I was in the hospital within an hour for treatment. So caught it really early. Got really lucky. It didn't do any um, long term damage to my body, which was the concern. Because when it kicked off, I couldn't move my left leg, and everything got tingly. And it was really hard for it. It's kind of like being on muscle relaxers, but on like it was only affecting one side of your body, so it sucked. And there we So they caught it in time. I was able to put me on a lot of meds that was going to thin the blood clot in my brain. So uh, we caught it early and we were able to kick some ass. So and knock out that blood clot. Put me in the hospital for a few days, obviously. Um, but I'm gonna need physical therapy, so I can strengthen those connections from my brain to my extremities on the left side. My right side wasn't affected, which is great. So, um, yeah, I'm doing well. Anybody has any questions? Because I am having some memory issues. I am having some cognitive issues because essentially they cause brain damage. And I know a lot of people say, "Well, Nico's already brain damaged." Ha ha ha! Yes, I know, we get it. So, um, But it was an eye opener of some lifestyle changes I'm going to have to make. Um, a lot of that was attributed to traumatic brain injury that I had in Iraq in 2005. So that was kind of like the linchpin, which set off a whole bunch of other things like sleep apnea, high blood pressure, which high blood pressure was a reason for the stroke. So baby aspirin is your friend. You should take it. Um, because I drew that stupid thing first. Okay, so so really the stroke kind of happened right here. Stroke. Little blood clot. It was like right in the middle of my brain. Yeah, 47 does suck. But so that's kind of where it happened. And it was on the right side of my brain, which affected the left side of my body. And I'm motivated and I'm determined and I'm freaking stubborn as shit. So I want to progress as fastly as possible, but also listen to my body. So, you know, I don't overdo it. So that's like the big concern. I'm, according to the neurologist, I'm weeks ahead of where I don't want to say normal or regular person, but weeks ahead of where somebody with a similar stroke, where they would be. Usually, it takes weeks before they can even start moving some of their extremities. Um, so, that being said, I'm I'm ahead of the power curve, which is good because they were going to send me to an acute therapy center inpatient for like 2 or 3 weeks, where they would just work with you 4 or 5 um, hours a day. It's supposed to be pretty intense. Plus, there's other stuff that you do like therapy and shit like that. Were you taking BP medication? Not at the time. I was undiagnosed. I've had high blood pressure for seems like forever, especially during the army. And the army kind of diagnosed it, and they're like, "Hey, you got high blood pressure?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "All right, cool." And then they would never go deeper into it. It was like, "Okay, so as long as you're aware," and it wasn't. It was high, but it wasn't in like the dangerous zone, I guess. Little did they know later on, Rockstar, yeah, Rockstar, the neurosurgeon, neurologist, same dude. He said, "Superhuman. What you're doing right now is superhuman." And I'm like, I think it was just through early detection, you know, um, that I'm able to do these things right now. That and I'm stubborn. So back to my drawing. Well, at least I know the drawing hand's working, so that's cool. I don't know if you guys, yeah, you guys can see that. So do a little arm here thing. Just do that. It's easier. So, and the doctor said that drawing is good therapy because it's gonna make my brain work. I'm like, yeah, I worked with the TBI, worked with the PTSD, so why wouldn't it work here, right? So small little rib there. So no, now I'm on blood pressure medication. They got me on like a insulin pill. They gave me insulin shots, but I think it was a misdiagnosis because what does happen with a stroke is that your brain starts sending like weird signals to places of the body, like the kidneys and stuff like that. So it'll give you false positives on stuff. So they kept wanting to say I was diabetic, and I'm like, I don't think so, man. Like you tell me I run around the last 10 years with type 2 diabetes unchecked, and I haven't had a diabetic incident. I don't think so. That and the hospital I was at is not rated very well. I should be lucky to still be alive. Yeah, baby aspirin's good, man. It's gonna prevent stroke and heart attack. I think that's another thing that kind of helped me out. Is as soon as I started feeling the symptoms, my wife gave me baby aspirin, and they told her when she finally got to the hospital that that was the right choice. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, so far it looks like I'm just testing out the drawing arm, um, making sure it didn't really affect it too bad. And I hear the dogs come. They haven't left my side since I got back because last time they saw me prior to yesterday, I was getting wheeled off and by a bunch of strange people in a box, or what they would perceive to be a box, an ambulance. And then I come back 6 days later, so they haven't left my side. They're real concerned about me, um, which is just adorable. Man's best friend, right? Okay, so now I'm just drawing nonsense. So when I call it my targeting computer, like my targeting computer's off. So like if I try to, especially on my left side, my left hand, if I'll be focused on where I want my target to be. Like one of the exercises was touching my nose and touching their finger, and they move the finger. Well, I touch my nose, I know where that's at, and then I would look at that finger, and I'm reaching for it, and I'd miss. So like I lost 0 in my arm. For those of you that are into guns and shit. Oh, this is horrible. Now your art is collectible. Uh, Probably would have been worth more if I actually died, but um, it's okay now. Um, if it affects my style, then yeah, you're gonna have to categorize it like pre-stroke Nick artwork and then post-stroke Nick artwork. So, but got like 10 people watching. No one's asking questions. Switch it back to here now. No one's really interested in the drawing. No, I'm not. I just wanted to make sure my hand worked, which it does. So, so that's where we're at. Because I did well with occupational therapy and physical therapy, I was able to move around on the walker and set up by myself and things like that. They suggested I just do at home care and outpatient physical therapy. So that's what we're gonna do, and they're probably gonna have me just do the same stuff I did in the hospital, which is good. Yeah, I will be doing outpatient physical therapy. Um, we're gonna work on all my primary care doctor. Weekends are he's off on weekends, so we're gonna have to tackle this on Monday, which is fine. Um, I got enough medications right now to last me for at least a month, so should be able to do this. Uh, do the physical therapy, so I don't need the walker anymore, and I can return to work under light duty, and you know, still do physical therapy. Where they said that it's going to take about possibly a year of physical therapy where I can get close to 100%. They said 95 to 100%. And they tell you the usual stuff. Don't get discouraged. Stay motivated. I'm not discouraged. I am motivated. Every day I want to push myself a little bit further um, than I did the day prior. Um, my hand, even though there's numbness on the left side of my hand and my feet, I can still I keep pushing myself to make sure I can, you know, send those signals from my brain to my fingers so I can. And if I sound different, it doesn't sound like I'm making sense because, stroke. Um, I'm still figuring everything out. It's kind of like relearning your body. So we're getting to that. Um, yeah, I'm excited to see. It was a shitty way for 2023 to end, but it opened my eyes to a awesome or potentially awesome 2024 and going forward. So take better stock in my health and the things I want to accomplish professionally, privately, all those things. So, like stroke was probably the best thing to happen to me at 45. But also, if you've had a TBI, you definitely want to get checked out because, like, this was a total shock because my body felt healthy. I was on the right track. I had a good diet going on. Um, things like that. Definitely was slowing down on the alcohol consumption over 2023. So right now I just kind of cut that out entirely until because you go in the hospital and they tell you like, oh, this is gonna kill you and that's gonna kill you if you do this. So I'm like, man, I don't even want to eat or drink anything because I'm afraid it's gonna kill me. But got to slowly ease back into things. Alcohol is probably going to be way down the line, even socially. So I'm just going to let that age in my at my mini bar in my kitchen. So what else you guys got? I know I missed like 6 or 7 days. What up, Nick? Yeah, I'm feeling better. Feeling a lot better than I did 6 days ago. Yeah, like I said, I'm in high spirits. I got a good support system. My wife is awesome. So thanks, Xenos. Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing okay, man. Apparently, I keep telling people I'm too stubborn to die on you, so I'm gonna be here a while. You better get used to me. But he's alive. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive. Everything's working probably at about, I would say about 75% of like what it used to. It's a lot slower for me to get, moving around, but I'm moving. That's the important thing. Sick call ranger. Yeah, well, I think a stroke qualifies. I don't think anyone's gonna give me grief on that one. So, yeah, I have recently realized that I need to use the straw because I tried just using the spout and it ended up spilling all over myself. So, to avoid all that, okay. So yeah, love you too, man. That's all I got to say. Thanks for the well wishes. Meant the world to me. It definitely kept me going, especially when you're sitting in a hospital for days. Um, yeah, of course it's water. Of course it's water. Yeah, no booze for a while. Thanks, Vladdy. Yeah, I'm glad I'm okay too. Um, so thanks to everyone who hopped on. Thanks for everyone who, well wishes and prayers and whatnot helped a lot. And for those of you that saw me still kind of drawing, so I'll be doing that. I just need to get back in here and keep knocking it out. So with that, I say thanks. You guys have my eternal gratitude. And hold on, people are still typing stuff. When I heard, I was like, damn, I hope he's okay. But was like, does he look normal or Forrest Whitaker normal? Oh shit. Yeah, Forrest. It's like I didn't really have any drooping, which was cool. Um, so no Forrest Whitaker eye for me, unless you say something stupid. Then I'll definitely give you Forrest Whitaker eye. So love you too, Russ. Thanks, Carmen. Appreciate it. And yeah, I look sort of normal. Uh, Still ugly. How much is my first edition Phantom Hawk worth now? Oh, now that I lived, it's worth what you paid for it. Had I met my demise, it probably would have gone up $5. But so instead of the $5 comic book, it would have been worth $10 or whatever you paid for it. Yeah, it's the other weird things. Like I was sitting still for so many days that like I just can't sit still any longer. I get anxious and sometimes my hand goes weird. So this hand I got to be careful with when holding hot beverages like coffee or tea. But I do have to work this hand, move things. So the more I do that, the easier it's going to get. That's what they keep telling me. Same with my left leg. Um, yeah. So I got some things I got to fix, but I can only do that through physical therapy and at-home care, and I won't be doing any squats in the gym anytime soon. So, alrighty. Anyway, before I sign off, anybody else got anything? Let's make it sound like a board meeting. Huh. Before we conclude business of the day. All right, going once, going twice. Range time. I do need to work on that, but let me get through the 2 weeks of physical therapy before we start involving guns, or pew pews. Um, I'm doing the best I can, take care of myself. So I'm gonna really take advantage of the time off that I have. Yes, I will be drawing. I was kind of drawing earlier. Let's see here if I can make that happen again. There we go. So hold on, I got a little weird. Got a little weird. All right, there we go. So there we go. A little quick sketch. I'm gonna put that in the spawn contest. But so yeah, I'm drawing. This is the first day that I've been able to try and test out the drawing hand. It's seems to work, but yeah, we'll get some more drawings in here and some more tutorials and things like that. That's one of the things I want to start doing. Start expanding my brand. What were your symptoms as the stroke was happening? What it felt like was somebody turning off switches systematically in my brain that were shutting down different parts. So the first thing that I felt was my left leg. I was walking fine, and then it got really numb, and then it just stopped wanting to work. Like I couldn't make it move. So I was dragging that leg into the kitchen because I was going to help my wife, with all the food we were preparing for New Year's Eve. And then I just told her, like, I felt weird. It's kind of like I was kind of lightheaded, but I was still kind of in control. I was still conscious, but I was just like I felt like sunken in my body a little bit. And then I just looked at her and was like, "Hey, I don't feel right." And at first we thought it was like low blood sugar because I hadn't eaten that day, and it was like almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I just kind of sat down there in the kitchen and had some orange juice and some other sugary stuff. Um, and then it started happening. The next thing that got affected was my left side of my temple and like around my eyeball, like it felt numb and tingly. And then I started feeling it in my teeth, in my gums, right from the my front tooth going on down the left side of my jaw, and then I started feeling it in my tongue and like kind of right where you swallow. That was kind of tingly, and then luckily my wife was fast acting. She recognized the signs of a stroke. She ran me through kind of the field test. Put my arms up, smile, things like that. Make sure I wasn't having any facial drooping or anything like that. And then she's like, "I think you're having a stroke," and I'm like, "Oh no, nah, man, I can't be having a stroke." I was in denial of it. I'm like, "Oh, let's just move me to the couch. Let's wait 10 minutes." I think I waited like another couple of minutes. I was like, "You know what?" She's like, "We need to call the ambulance. You need to go to the hospital." I'm being a stubborn ass, like, "No, no, no, I don't have to go anywhere." And then eventually, it was like about 2 minutes. I was like, "All right, call the ambulance. We'll just better be safe than sorry, right?" So yeah, I was within the hospital within like the first hour of symptoms. So that's why they were able to pump me with certain medications to thin the clot and prevent any further damage. So Yeah, those were the symptoms. It was because it doesn't hurt. It's not like a heart attack where you start feeling pain, which I've never had a heart attack. Hopefully that never happens. I've already had the stroke. I don't want to try and get a heart attack either. So, um, but it's painless when it happens. It just freaks you out because you no longer have control of your body. Like certain parts of it, like it affected the right side a little bit too, but not as bad. Like mostly my feet, my right foot feels kind of tingly, but I can feel when like sensations like touching things with my foot, so I can still feel that. It's just kind of numb. But the thing that affected it the most was like the left side of my body. So like I can, which is weird. It's just like my fingertips, my left hand, and and my toes. So it's kind of about it. And there's a little bit of that on the right side, but not as bad as on the left. So that's what they did. They ran me through all the tests. They put me in an MRI. They did an MRI. They did two CAT scans. They did an initial CAT scan to see what was going on. Then they needed to do the MRI to really see what was going on, see what parts of my brain were affected. And then they pumped me with a bunch of meds, and then they ran me through another CAT scan to see if it had any effect, which it did. So it never showed me the MRI. I think that would have scared the shit out of me. The parts of my brain that aren't firing. So yeah, those were all the symptoms while it was happening. Pretty scary shit. Definitely an eye opener. It's like, hey, how come my body ain't working? The funny thing now is like I'll send a signal to my leg to like lift it up, and it's like a delayed fuse. So it's weird. It's like my brain thinks that the leg is lifting and it's not lifting yet, and then all of a sudden it just goes and it pops up. It's pretty funny. I think it's funny, but I got a sick sense of humor too. Find humor in everything. It's probably why I'm still alive. But alrighty, we'll go back to here. So yeah, I have no problem sharing this. Another buddy of mine, Gonzo, he said that I should probably record all this stuff for prosperity's sake and just kind of record the journey and how I'm gonna move forward from this, and maybe it'll be inspiration for others. I don't know. I'll do what I can if I can remember. Sorry, having the wife record me when I walk and do these things, to push myself further into getting better. So there's gonna be a lot of this stuff kind of going on. I'll run constant updates on Facebook and social media and whatnot. I'll let you guys know how everything's going. So right now I'm gonna take off, um, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Be well.